Thank you for downloading the Flixters podcast. On this week's episode,
I don't know how that's going to work, but check this out. This movie, this is probably the first time I've seen this. This has got 1% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Version from game to movie is if they try to be true to the actual game, it doesn't end up being so good as a movie. So there have to be I think as a conversion from game to movie, the story has to be more imaginative.
See, I disagree with that. I think that they should go all out and make it what it is. Like, give you what you came for, but still make it, imaginative, and maybe you can change something. But when they change a lot, I think people feel cheated. They feel cheated. I mean, look at some of the successes.
I'm just waiting for who's going to start laughing first. Yeah, exactly. All right, listen, folks, we're back. We are back. The boys are back in town. Well, actually, we're in different towns at the moment. But the boys are back. We've got Deval, we've got Emmaniuel, and myself. We're bringing you another episode of TheFlixters. Whoa. Well, listen, we have got a gamified episode for you. And if you don't know what that is, keep listening, because we've got game movies, game news, game whatever coming at you from all sides. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show. All right, okay, so first things first.
Why is it? That's the thing. The question is why? I mean, what's happened recently that made us want to actually do a game-focused episode? Something big must be happening in the world.
Well, someone stopped being a player, and then
I know what they are playing.
You know what, right? I've been watching these kids, man. I went to the mall. There's the mall over here, right? And kids, man, they were like, "Oh, PlayStation this, PlayStation that." So I went into kind of like the local the game store, whatever it is over here. Man, they had the graphic. They were playing games. They were showing it. It looks wicked, Deval, Emmaniuel. I mean, have you seen the footage? Have you seen the game footage?
I've seen it. I've seen the device. Yeah, it's huge though.
Mm-hmm. Massive.
Iron Man for
it's a PC.
They were working on believing it. So we're talking about the PlayStation 5 thing, in case some people haven't clocked on. But on the 12th of November, it launched in the US and some other territories as well. In the UK, it's launching on the 19th, which is probably by the time you hear this, it would have launched.
Yeah.
So that's why, guys, we're focusing on games, and we're just, I guess, putting out a lot of respect to a lot of the video games that have turned into movies and TV shows, and just talking about it today. So,
I mean, just to think about where games started from as well. Like, it hasn't been that long, and then now we're just basically playing on games that are just almost realistic, like
I know,
true to life compared to games on the Commodore 64.
Oh man, Commodore 64, ColecoVision,
Atari, all those. But the video game system or computer game system, I'll stick to that. But it's worth like so many more billions compared to the movie industry.
Yeah.
Someone said actually that the video game industry is worth more than the movie and music industry combined.
Oh,
I believe it.
And they're growing on esports as well. Esports is getting big.
Yeah,
massive.
Yeah,
and when you think about it, like the new Spider-Man game, I think that's like about 60 quid, isn't it?
Yeah.
The price is going to keep on going up, man.
Yeah, exactly. So when you compare that to kind of like a price of a cinema ticket, which back home last time, if I can remember, it was like about 14 quid. Was it 14, 15 quid?
Yeah, something like that. Now, anyway, it's gone down. Yeah, now with new launches of consoles, it just shoots up again. And it'll stay up for a while.
Exactly. I know, man. So folks, this is going to be a game intensified episode for you. So all you gamers out there, hope you're listening, and we really hope you enjoyed the show. All right, okay, so shout outs to Bado. Who are we shouting out this week?
A couple of shout outs this week. First one goes out to Zakharov, who listens to the show and always listens to the show when he's cooking food and eating. So we added a little flavour to his meal. But yeah, this week he's the one that told me about the box set that I'm going to talk about later on, and that's the Mortal Kombat Legacy TV show. So got Zakharov to thanks for that one, among other recommendations that he's made.
Wicked.
Actually, told me he also plays the violin, so he likes
Is it?
he likes a person that done the music for Game of Thrones, Ramin Let me say his name.
Ramin Jamin or something?
That's it, something like that. Ramin Jamin. That's the start of a reggae song, isn't it? Ramin Jamin. Ramin for your life. I don't know, but yeah.
No, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, listen, Zakharov, if you're listening to this episode, please, man, if you've got the time, if you can kind of fit this in, it'd be great if you could do some like intro music for us, like make it dramatic, like, you know, just pull out those strings, do that for us. That'd be great.
Definitely. Next shout out goes to Tracy Biscuit, and she Tracy Biscuit. Take a piece of that. Tracy, how do you like your biscuits? Do you like it dunked? Do you like it straight? Do you like, I don't know, what do you do?
What's her favourite biscuit as well?
Yeah.
What kind of girl? Are you a cracker? No, she's not a cracker, definitely. Sorry. I know that.
Hobnobbing.
So we're not saying to you about those messages, tweets, or podcasts where 10 years down the line, someone will hear someone say something and then I'll get fired.
They're going to pull this out.
It was just jokes. It was just jokes.
Yeah, so it's Tracy Biscuit just shouted us out on Instagram about one of our posts, I think to do with Friday the 13th. So Friday the 13th is now past, guys. We'll all say Friday the 13th in 2020 could have been dangerous, but nothing happened. So
exactly.
So let's move on.
Let's do it. All right. Okay. Let's get into movie news now. We've got a stat. Well, they've got some great movie news, actually. Let's check this out. Now, we've spoken about Michael B. Jordan on the show, and we've said this tons of times before. And Emmaniuel, I'm pretty sure you're going to agree with us. But yeah, this guy is a massive, huge star. He's been in some great movies. Creed, obviously, you know, played Killmonger in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And he's going to be looking to start doing directing as well, isn't he?
Oh man, he's got his fingers in loads of different pies. But yeah, so Emmaniuel, tell us about this news that you've got for us over here. It sounds really good.
Yeah, so Michael B. Jordan to co-star as John Clark in two of Paramount's Rainbow Six Siege movies. So Michael B. Jordan and Tom Clancy fans of Rainbow Six first caught wind of this news about 2 years ago. But now it really seems as though we're finally going to get closer to getting to see Black Panther star prize the role of pretty soonish with our first official teaser trailer, and which dropped 11 months ago. Now I think that Michael, he's actually going to do really well to play John Clark, with having played Killmonger in Black Panther and following on from William Dafoe and Liam Schreiber, who previously portrayed the ex-Navy SEAL turned operations officer for the CIA. Which means that, I mean, the potential is there for the name John Clark to become a popular name like Jack Ryan, and to be a franchise with longevity and action and, you know, political intrigue, as we've already seen in 5 movies based on Tom Clancy's character, Jack Ryan. And for some of those who probably aren't familiar with the previous Jack Ryan films, there's about 5 popular ones, that come to mind. And any of you remember like the Hunt for Red October, which was like Alec Baldwin and Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Patriot Games was another with Harrison Ford. Clear and Present Danger, that was in '94. That was William Dafoe. And the Summer Hall Fears, Ben Affleck starred in that one with Morgan Freeman.
Oh yeah, forgot about that one. Yeah.
And then there's and the most recent one for me anyway is the Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit, which featured, was it Chris Payne and Kevin Costner and was it Kenneth Branagh?
Yeah. And then they kind of like reinventing that story. That story kind of keeps coming back and everything. But yeah, man. I mean, Ian Clancy, man. This guy. Oh, sorry, Tom Clancy, Ian Clancy, whoever they are. But I mean, I mean, those books, those games. I mean, I've played the Rainbow Six games. Deval, I'm not sure. Deval, have you played them on the PlayStation?
Nah, I kind of left them alone. I'm more of a Call of Duty man. I kind of left.
Okay.
Rainbow, Zippy and Bungle. Come on. Into that.
I haven't played Rainbow Six in years, man.
You know what? It's great games. No, seriously. And if Michael B. Jordan's attached to it, it's going to be great.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say, if you ask a New Zealander about Rainbow Six, the way they would say it, they'll say Rainbow Sex. Rainbow Sex. There's sex
Rainbow
sounds like
sex.
sex. Imagine they
It
want
does.
rainbow sex. That can be any kind of sex. You never know what you're going to get.
Oh shit! All right, so fans of Rainbow Six, check go online, check it out, and we'll keep you posted on that one. Now let's move on to another game. Now this game, fellas, if you didn't already know this is the highest grossing game apparently. Well, according to Wikipedia, I think highest grossing game ever, Minecraft. Minecraft. This game has sold millions around the world in different variations, etc. But
Do you know how I came
Emmaniuel,
across it?
Yeah, go on.
I didn't know about Minecraft until like.
No, you downloaded that. I saw you playing it
On his phone.
All those blocks.
No. No. But the kids nowadays, they jumped on this, and that's how I found out, because I was basically babysitting some friends of mine as kids, and they were just on this Minecraft and trying to show me this game. And anyway, so like Minecraft, the movie has been given a launch date of March 2022.
Wow.
And Mojang, the creators of Minecraft, seem to have finally entrusted Warner Brothers with their IP to work on a movie based on their popular blocky game of Minecraft. Not many people will know this, but this will not be the first movie produced based off this popular blocky game. The popular YouTuber Brandon Larch, he basically produced the first movie titled Minecraft: Birth of Man. He raised $600K as a Kickstarter project and funded the movie production, which basically plays him and sort of like I'm trying to describe it. It's kind of like he's animated everything around him. So, but put him as the motion, like real life actor in the film, and he basically produced that, and that was that was the first movie of 600K from a Kickstarter fund but was shut down in 2014 when he produced it, because he went about it producing the movie without the permission of Mojang, and was shut down. So yeah, they got caught wind of that. It didn't matter how good it was just shut down. It was like, nah.
That's mad. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like this movie won't be shut down. So we're definitely going to see this movie in 2022. And what is the appeal of this game?
Yeah. So now Warner Brothers, now with Warner Brothers, the Minecraft movie, it's set to bring to life the story of a teenage girl and her unlikely group of adventurers brought together to save their blocky world from the malevolent Ender Dragon of the Ender world. It sounds so ridiculous, man.
It sounds bloody crazy, man. It sounds mad.
With the leaked news of the cast of the character cast, and also I've heard Steve Carell is star in lead role in the Warner Brothers official choosing of Peter Soletti. That's he's the director, best known for 2008 Nick and Noah's Infinite Playlist. I've not actually watched this movie. I don't think he's a really that big of a known actor though. Director, sorry. But yeah, he's due to direct that movie.
Listen, the kids, man, once they know that there's a Minecraft movie out there, they're going to be up all on this, man. They're going to be building
because it'll be like the Lego movie. I mean, Warner Brothers produced the Lego movie as well, so
exactly. All right, okay. So yeah, fans of Minecraft, if that's you, then okay, great. This movie's going to be coming out soon, and we'll speak about it when that comes out. But let's speak about this now. This game I've played. I remember playing this on the Xbox. I was one of those nerds who went out on the first day, bought the first Xbox And listen, let me tell you one thing. You know, you think the PlayStation 5 is big. This beast of a machine, man. Fellas, this thing was heavy, hunking it across. I went down to Harrow because that was the only place that was like, had it. And I was there like about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, yeah, man, look at me. I'm cool. Went home, played Halo. I loved it. It was brilliant. And now they're going to be making a movie out of this, right?
Yeah.
Or a TV show or something.
So
Yeah.
this is I think we actually spoke about this a while ago. We sort of broke it when it first came about. That Steven Spielberg and Showtime are going to be sort of working on the Halo series. It's going to be about 9 episodes, from what I understand.
10.
For the first season.
10 episodes.
The 9 or 10. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be, well, at first people were saying that Batista should be the main guy in Halo because he kind of looked like the main big sort of character. I don't know what his name is. I never played it, but what's his name?
Yeah, Master Chief.
Master Chief, yeah. So, and you know, when I saw the comparisons, Batista does come across like that. He's big and chunky. You know, I can imagine all the gear on him and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's going to happen. But Pablo Schreiber is going to be the lead guy. He's going to play Master Chief. He was the guy that was in Orange Is the New Black. He was a dirty cop in that. He's been in a few things. He was in that one with 50 Cent.
Den of Thieves.
He was in that. He's been in a few things, actually. He's actually a good actor. He's cool. But yeah, so it's going to be a few.
And then you got Natasha as well. Natasha Kolzak. She's going to be in it as well. She's from The Witcher and First.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and Deval, I just had a look at this. It's going to have our friend in it, Bokeem. Bokeem's going to be in it.
Yes, I'll come into that. Yeah, the one that was in the Tupac video, I Get Mad at You, from like 1995 or something like that. Yes, he's going to be in it. He's one I'm most excited about. But yeah, so this is coming out. It's going to be, obviously, Steven Spielberg, Amblin Entertainment's going to be involved in it. Also, the director of Peaky Blinders and Black Mirror, Otto Bathurst, is going to be going to direct and also executive produce. So that's good. That's good stock. So do you know
what? Do you know how much they've spent already?
I don't know.
The budget succeeded 41.3 million. So it's not quite though it's not quite exceeding the budget of like Game of Thrones. It is clearly closer to The Walking Dead on $2.75 million an episode. So it is like, well, it is
more
poised.
Effects, that's why lots of special effects.
Yeah.
So, but no, it should be decent. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, it's going to be decent, that one. All right, which leads us on to this next one.
Yeah. Video games. So I wanna ask you guys, yeah. So, give me one of your favorite video games that turn into movies.
Mario Brothers. That's the first one I remember.
That's your favorite?
I think so, just because it is.
It was nostalgia.
Yeah, it's the nostalgia.
How do we eject people? How do we eject people from the show? Is there a button? Is there a button?
Yeah, but you're going to say Resident Evil. Resident Evil is another one. That's a good one still, though.
You know what, man? I'm just because I've been going through these lists. I'm in an iron, man. Like, you know what? I had a great time watching just like recently, because maybe it's because of the kids. I was watching like Pikachu. That was just recently. Sonic the Hedgehog. I had a great time watching that as well.
Yeah.
Like I kind of. Even Prince of I know, man, people like shout on this movie, Prince of Persia, believe it or not. I thought it was all right. You know that? Yeah. I know, man. Eject me right now.
I'll be all alone, so I'll allow you to for now.
What's your favorite then? Resident Evil?
No, Resident Evil. No, even when Mortal Kombat first came out in 1995, I think it was. That was big. That was big. I've never seen something so accurate, and it just looked like it was gonna, be the dog's bollocks and all that. But for me, one that I really liked, and I never even played the game, but Silent Hill came out in 2006, the horror film.
Okay,
and that was like it was very it was a good adaptation of the game, but there was also a really good kill in that game. It's in the film that for me to this day is still one of the most original ways to kill someone. This is big monster. And he's got like a mad. The makeup on the monster was really good. It was like a massive man with a triangular shaped helmet. Kind of looked like something that you might see in Cell. Remember the Cell? Was one with Jennifer Lopez?
Yeah, Jennifer Lopez,
very beautiful, but that nasty monster. And he killed someone by literally, he grabbed them and he sort of grabbed their skin and he just ripped it off with one pull. All their skin. Seriously. It was, when I first saw it, I was shocked. Just ripped all their skin off. And the other people that got away were running into a church. They closed the door and he threw the skin on the door. It was disgusting. But that film, it was mad. It was a decent film.
Oh my God. Sean Bean. Sean Bean was in it.
What was that, Emmaniuel?
It sounds like he peeled them like a tangerine.
Yeah, honestly, literally, one time. Like, what's his name was? Charles or Wycliffe. But yeah, next thing I want to go through, I know we're going through quite a lot and times are ticking, but just wanted to talk about a few movies, sort of video game to movie depictions that are going to be coming out soon. So I'm just going to sort of breeze through quite a bit. And I know you mentioned them all recently. We had Sonic the Hedgehog, we had Detective Pikachu recently. Obviously, The Witcher we've had recently as well. We'll talk about that a bit later in the news. But a few, just to sort of talk about a few that's coming out. Altered Beast. Remember Altered Beast?
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day.
Oh, my gosh.
That one's in talks of coming out right now. Borderlands. That's a game that's recently on like Xbox and stuff like that. A vast sort of wasteland and, all kind of dystopian shit. That's coming out by Lionsgate. We've got Call of Duty. This has been spoken about for quite a while, but it is happening. Director of Sicario, Day of the Soldado Part 2.
Yes, that's going to be great.
Stefano Solima is going to be directing that. What else have we got coming out? We've got coming out soon Centipede. Ooh, not Human Centipede.
Thank God.
This was like
I can't deal with another one.
I want another one. But this is an 80s arcade shooter, a bit like, Space Invaders and stuff like that. That's coming out soon. We've got, oh my gosh, if this one comes out.
Do we have Golden Axe coming out?
Oh, say yes. Say it is so.
I've not seen that yet, but you know what? I would love for that to come out.
That would be brilliant.
Dragons that shoot the fireballs.
The little elves that come running and then you got to kick them. Oh my gosh, man, I used to love that.
Get the chicken as well. But yeah, if this one comes out, this game I'm going to mention, if this comes out, this is going to be heavy. Dante's Inferno.
Oh my gosh. You know what? That was the first game I played and I was actually shit scared because I was just like, wait, the dark arts in this, I was just like, nah, someone's done some research and am I playing something that's gonna is this like a Ouija board?
Oh man. If they make that, though, they also got to make Devil May Cry, just for the title.
Oh my gosh,
They can make the devil cry. What is going on? Think about that, yeah? Think about that. Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry, that was a good one.
Mate.
And I'm sure they were talking about God of War as well, right? Isn't that supposed to be coming out?
I've not heard anything yet, but I wouldn't be surprised.
You know what, Amar, I'll just be like you. God of War is that good. I'm thinking it needs to be a movie anyway.
Exactly. You got to make a movie out of that one.
They made Clash of the Titans. They made Wrath of the Titans with Sam Worthington. I mean, God of War. And then the person that can play that. Oh well, maybe Vin Diesel. They got to get someone else actually.
Oh, Aquaman.
He can. Yeah, he can play that. Yes.
Oh, easy. Yeah, he'd be able to do that.
That's a good casting suggestion. Yeah, for sure. Okay, Duke Nukem. I just mentioned a couple more. Duke Nukem, the first-person shooters coming out.
Yeah, that was ages ago. It's John Cena, wasn't it? Rumored was to play Duke Nukem.
Was it him? Yeah.
Yeah, Duke Nukem. It was rumored like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gears of War supposed to be coming out. So there's quite a few games that are supposed to be coming out. The Last of Us. This one here the game is almost like a movie.
That is a good game.
If that comes out, that is going to be wicked. I've played that game. I love that game. I haven't played the second one, but yeah, it's a great game.
Mega Man by 20th Century Fox, a Capcom game. We'll mention a Capcom game a bit later on as well. Metal Gear Solid. Oh my gosh, Solid Snake. Can you imagine that? Solid Snake. And who can play that? I reckon the guy that Joe Manganiello. He'll be a good. He would be
great as that.
A really good Solid Snake.
I think the previous podcast you mentioned Uncharted, wasn't it? Or
that was it. That's coming out soon as well.
Yeah,
finished filming, isn't it?
Tom Holland. Yeah.
And the last one I mentioned is Monster Hunter, which we already saw the trailer. Mila Jovovich and also can't remember the other guy's name now. He's like a karate guy.
Tony
On
Jaa?
back, Johnny Jar. Yes, so that's coming out. That's coming out real soon. So there you go. There's a little list of video games that are coming out. I did mention The Witcher, which are going to the next bit of news. But The Witcher season 2 filming has started.
Can't
We
wait.
also mentioned you mentioned Jason Momoa, Emmaniuel. He's going to be starring in The Witcher season 2, but he's also going to be having his own spin-off as well called Blood Origin, which
Is
will
it?
so it's The Witcher's like that was a computer game from an Eastern European book,
Yep.
actually. I think Polish book.
That's
And
right.
The Witcher's been quite popular over the years. Lots of books, lots of games. Season 1 that came out was mostly good. Most people said so. Season 2 is coming out, and also a spin-off as well. So looking all good there.
There's going to be a season of a lot of spin-offs from shows now, because Mandalorian already mentioning about spin-offs as well on that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and talking about Disney Plus, Emmaniuel, tell us about how well they're faring in the streaming wars. We've spoken about the streaming wars before, right? So Disney Plus, they are. I mean,
the market is saturated. The market is saturated at the moment, and Disney Plus, wow, yep, it's no secret, but Disney Plus, they've basically doing well. They're doing very well.
Like, give us some numbers. What are we looking at?
Okay, so Disney Plus, their subscriptions is 73.7 million within its first year, and it's as a new streaming service. Since their launch was the 12th of November 2019, Disney Plus has already hit that figure, which is close to Netflix's 1 million subscribers success, but to be fair, it's a bit of an unfair advantage because Disney has been established for 97 years, and then you got Netflix's 23-year-old company, and worldwide they've to date third quarter they've grossed 195.15 million worldwide, whereas Disney is on third quarter was 73.7 million. So
That's mad though.
It is, but
people are loving obviously Disney Plus, and I think though, in my opinion though, this is where kind of Netflix wins out for me, is basically the sheer number of the variety of programs that Netflix can pump out, like the documentaries, like the different animations, and they. I think with Netflix, they're not afraid to go to dark places with dark themes and really kind of get behind like certain things. With Disney Plus at the moment, they've got a huge back catalogue. Like, don't get me wrong, obviously the MCU stuff is going to be all on there. Obviously the Fox stuff is going to be probably coming on there, and that's going to bring in loads of million subscribers. But for the moment, I still reckon Netflix is obviously got greater content.
Well, we just got to see, because I mean, a lot of Disney fans don't like Bob Chapek, who's the one who's made it the success financially, but he doesn't really value the Disney magic that the founder Walt Disney built the company on. So he is a suits kind of guy. He's all about the numbers and the money, and so shareholders and investors love him. But the Disney fans, nah.
Yeah. And you were talking about spin-offs just to kind of like a bit before. So is Disney Plus going to be working on any more spin-offs, like from maybe like, I don't know, like the Star Wars world?
Yep. Darth Maul, mate.
Whoa, tell us about this one.
Yeah, Darth Maul is rumored to get his own spin-off as well, following The Mandalorian's massive success. I told you last week, there was a post that came out with Pedro Pascal saying that he'd been rushed to hospital because he had back problems, because it was a joke, but he's carrying Disney Plus by himself. I mean, it's Mandalorian is heavy.
It is.
And if anyone's seen, I recommend, if anyone has seen the Clone Wars animation, Rebels animation, it is really, really good. It's just I'll say
I'm gonna have to get on that. Because
it's just as good as Mandalorian. You get all the same characters, you get all the same filling information. It is decent, and Darth Maul in that, he comes out on top in that one a lot. He's a big character in that. He doesn't die from from the Phantom Menace. He gets revived. He gets put together again with these cybernetic legs, and he's Jabaj Opress, his brother, and then his mum or his sister or someone's like a witch, and they put them together and all kinds of madness. And maybe we'll get to see that in the series. Who knows? But Obi-Wan's got his series coming out. We're going to have what's her name? Ahsoka Tano's going to have her series. This is looking decent. So yeah, let them spin that shit off, man.
Yeah, man.
Matt, yeah, let's hope that turns out. And
Boba, is it Boba?
Yeah, oh yes, and we spoke about this last week, Devaldo. Boba Fett as well. The Fett is going to be getting his own TV show, and obviously we've already had kind of like his introduction, in The Mandalorian. So yeah, man, this is looking great. That universe is expanding even more. Now, let's move this kind of back to obviously keeping it in with Disney Plus, and but moving it to kind of MCU a little bit. Now, I sent, you probably already know this. A lot of people probably already know this, but we've been speaking about WandaVision on the TheFlixters podcast, and we've been really excited about it. We've been like, yeah, can't wait. This is going to be coming out in 2020. And then a couple of days ago, the news hit the interwebs, and there's been a delay. So WandaVision is now going to be releasing, I can't believe this, it's going to be releasing 15th of January 2021. And I sent Deval the link to this news, right? And he replied back, like, there's a Michael Jackson, Deval, what is that song? It's that one. That one. And he's getting Michael Jackson's arms are kind of like, they stretched behind. He's been chained behind. That's what it feels like. So WandaVision isn't going to be coming out this year. So there's going to be no kind of, end of year kind of happy ending for us. It's going to be next year. So 15th of January. So yeah, folks, WandaVision is going to be coming out next year. I mean, Emmaniuel, what do you make of that?
What is it? Apart from the delay, I'm not surprised. I mean, to be honest, I'm pissed off with this whole Corona.
Hurry up, man. We want it now. Come on now.
Yeah.
Do it, man. Come on. Do it.
Yeah. So they kind of like put something out, and they just kind of said, look, hey, streaming January the 15th. And, there's a new trailer out there as well. So if you want to check that out, go check it out. And finally, on film news, the Snyder cut of Justice League, this kind of like, the news gets building up. And apparently there's going to be like a trailer that's going to be coming out really, really soon. But so tell us about this kind of, is this going to be like another little spin-off, or is it going to be an inclusion of another character in this Snyder cut?
This is, the Snyder cut. This is, Sean Jean is Martian Manhunter. He's the person from Mars. He's green. He can read minds. He's got like Superman kind of powers.
But afraid of flame.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen him a lot in the Supergirl series, played by David Harewood, I think his name is.
British actor.
Yeah. But yeah, Snyder basically teased on Twitter that he teased the Martian Manhunter character by showing us a little sketch and said, "Oh, just wait and see, guys. Just wait and see." So, I mean, from what we've heard, there's been a lot more shooting, a lot more scenes that have been added. The budget slightly got increased as well. It's going to be 4 episodes, I believe it is. You know what? Who knows how much we're going to see of the Martian Manhunter?
Yeah.
But it sounds like we're going to see something which may lead to more, further down the line. But it looks like Schneider's finally been given free rein to do what he wants.
But you know what? I don't know whether it's just me. Well, let me know what you guys think about this. But with all of these little drop-in and teases here and there, I don't like it, because it's just I don't know, because I'm expecting big things now.
Yeah, because you want to see the whole thing, right? I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah. It's like, they started teasing about Green Lantern. And what annoyed me was at the end when Arrow, right? So just going back a little bit, when Arrow finished on CW, they put this little teaser in there, with the Green Arrow, with the Green Lantern. And I was just like, okay, come on. Like, all right, now I want to see this. Bring this out. Bring Green Lantern, man. There's talk about it coming to HBO and gosh, man. I know what you mean. I just want to see this shit.
Yeah.
Heard that.
It's like someone just saying to you, "Oh, I was just gonna." No, actually, don't worry about it. You don't want to know. What do you?
You know what? Trust in
Teasing.
Schneider. He'll do it. He'll do it.
Exactly, yeah. All right, okay, so there's your movie news, folks. Remember to keep it locked in with the Flixters, and we're going to be bringing you more movie news every single week. All right, so now let's check out Box It Watcher. So, Devaldo, what can people check out online?
So I'm going to fly through some of these because I know we're going for a lot today, actually. I hope you guys are satisfied. We're giving you a lot. But yeah, first thing I'll give you is Mortal Kombat Legacy Season 1 and 2. You can find it on YouTube, actually, so there's no excuses. It's only 10 minutes each episode. Each season is like, I think about 8 or 9 episodes. So it's really quick. I've done it in a day, literally, so quickly. But this is actually quite decent. This was made in 2011 and 2013 as well. And yeah, it was something that was devised by a writer called Kevin Tankarin. And you might recognize his name from all the work that he's done on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's worked on some of the Netflix, Marvel stuff. He's done a lot of TV, but in his TV work, there's always a little bit of fighting. He's an action guy. So in this series, it looks like the Mortal Kombat characters. You got Johnny Cage, you got Liu Kang, you got Jack, you got everyone. Liu Kang. Do you know who returns in this one? The original Shang Tsung. The original actor from the movie comes back in this one. So you got Casper Van Dien. He's in this thing. He's one from
Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers. Yes, you got Michael J. White, the badass Michael J. White. He's in it. He's Jackson Briggs.
The clown.
You got quite. I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. But yeah, so you got a lot of good actors in this actually, and it's almost like a web series. At the time, it was the highest grossing or highest watched web series at the time when it first came out. So just from that alone, the director writer got a lot of work in other shows. So now it's going to be hard to pin him down. But yeah, get that on YouTube. You can watch it in an afternoon, like in 2 hours. It's so decent, good value.
Sounds great, and it's got. I just had a look at the cast list. It's got Mark Dacascos, who turned up in John Wick
Part 3.
Yes, man. Yeah, he's great. He's great. All right,
decent. So yeah, guys, watch that. Yeah. Next one, we've got Dragon's Dogma, which again, these are all video games that are going to come out. So video games to movies. Dragon's Dogma is a video game from Capcom, actually. And this was on Netflix. This is an animation, a bit like I guess you call it anime. And this one is about a dragon that, it's a big dragon that sort of terrorizes the villages and stuff like that. The dragon talks as well. But it's about a hero who, the dragon comes to the village, kills his family and stuff like that. He wants revenge. I don't want to spoil it too much, but something happens to this hero to make him different to other people. He's got to stand out, isn't it? Obviously, not just the fact that he's a hunk compared to everyone else, so he stands out. You know how anime is, isn't it?
Yeah,
always
exactly.
one hunk. But yeah, so it's decent. It's 8 episodes long. It's like half an hour each. A bit similar to the Blood of Zeus. That kind of decent kind of quality as well. This one's animation is a bit more. It's violent and it's sexy. Actually, there's a few sex scenes where I thought, "Oh, hello." You know how anime. These anime artists,
man, they push the buttons, don't they?
Hey, Randy, oi! You see the lady? There's a lady in this year. Out of nowhere, she's like getting all kinky with the hero, ripping her tits out, and no one the animators don't waste any ink.
It's all the pent up frustration. They put pen to paper and then
they'll draw the most perfect tits on this.
I know, man.
Like for no reason, just because they can. Make sure they come out.
I saw the trailer for this, and it gave me Lord of the Rings vibe. Not Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit vibe. There's in one of the Hobbit movies where the dragon comes in, the desolation of Smaug.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what? 100% it's like that. Yeah. Literally. Yeah. And it was a scene where there's all this money as well. But you know what? Watch this on Netflix. It's on there now. No excuse. 2020. It won't take you long. You can do it in a day. So most of us are on lockdown now, so get it done. Dragon's Dogma, decent stuff. I'll whip on to the next one. Next one's High Score. This one I started watching months ago, stopped, and I sort of finished it because we're doing this show. High Score is about 6 episodes long on Netflix, and it's about the video game industry. and little mini documentaries about 45 minutes long. They talk about the history of different gaming companies, different games, all kinds of stuff, and it's really interesting. Actually, they were talking about the war between Sega and Nintendo, which I'll talk about more in one of our reviews later. And they talk about the birth of fighting games. They looked at the person that invented, or not invented, that created Street Fighter.
Oh
It
yeah,
came out in, I think, 1989 or something like that. And
I think it's the one they touch on Mortal Kombat as well, isn't it?
They touch on everything in this one, like Space Invaders, even like going back to Space Invaders, Super Mario, all those ones. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yes, really, really good. And you're right, Emmanuel. When he talks about Mortal Kombat, he's talking about where the idea came from, how they got the actors, because Mortal Kombat they made it different because they got real people to be in the game, to
Yeah.
give it different graphics, and so it's all like I don't know what to call it now, but when you get live action people in games, they call it a certain thing, but
Yeah.
back then it was revolutionary, so it made the game
Motion
stand
capture.
out. Motion capture, that's
Yeah,
what I'm thinking
mocap,
of.
that's
Yeah,
it,
motion
yeah.
capture. And then obviously the gaming, the in America, the law people said no, this game's too violent. They wanted to ban it and stuff like that. So all kind of it's a decent documentary. Again,
Yeah.
you can watch this one in an afternoon, and it's decent. Yeah, give it a watch, guys. You'll love it, especially if you're old school. You will love it even.
Yeah.
That's my box set.
So, and what's this one? I didn't get a chance to see this one. What's this one? No Game, No Life.
Is that Emmanuel's one? Is that your
Oh,
one?
No Game, No Life. That one is similar to like Sword Art Online, which is on Netflix. Well, how do I describe it? It is anyone who's watched Sword Art Online is basically it's a computer game similar to Ready Player One, where everyone basically gets onto a network and they basically play they live like role play within the game.
Okay.
And and you basically play your avatar, and it's one that's just it's all right. It's not too bad actually. But out of the between that and what I've seen of Sword Art Online, I think Sword Art Online is the more popular one. I mean, I think that's where, to me personally, when I watched Ready Player One, it was just it was basically a copy of Sword Art Online.
Is it?
But
okay, wow.
Yeah. But definitely, anyone start off with Sword Art Online first, and then work your way to No Game, No Life.
All right, well, there you have it, folks. Go check those out all on Netflix and YouTube. Now, let's check out what's new on streaming and some trailers that you can find. This one, the name of this, right? I just kind of, when I saw the name of this, I was like, oh, let me check this out. This is called The Intergalactic Adventures of Max Cloud. I saw this trailer and I was like, you know what? I can't wait to watch this movie. It was brilliant. It was funny. Loads of kind of like it did remind me of kind of like Ready Player One. When they kind of go into the game, it reminded me of there's a Adam Sandler movie called Pixels as well. Like kind of get a person in the real world getting into the game world. Jumanji, it kind of like had that kind of vibe to it as well. Who were some of the actors in this one? They had Lashana. I've forgotten her name now.
She's going to be in Bond, the one that we spoke about last week. She had Backlash. She's going to be in this one.
She's going to be in it.
Really good, up and coming.
Yeah.
Well, not up and coming. She's established. Sorry, she is established, but she's going to be rising more.
Yeah.
John Hannah, who was in Spartacus, he was Batiatus.
He was, and in the Mummy.
He was in the Mummy as well. We got Franz Dramé, who was in TV shows. He was in Legends of Tomorrow and all that kind of TV stuff with the superheroes. But yeah, this one is it stars Scott Adkins, who's he's a fighter. This guy is like one of the top sort of TV fighter movie kind of guys out there. Decent.
Yeah.
And yeah, this one is a movie that is kind of paying homage to computer games. So in this one, there's I think a young girl who plays little computer games. Somehow she gets put into the game. The game is called Max Cloud, and she somehow goes into the game, like you said with Jumanji, and now she has to fight with Max Cloud to save the universe. So it looks decent. It's old school, and it's just funny. It just looks like a mad funny film. Pretty sure it's not going to come out in cinema, but it's saying release date is December the 18th. So I'm sure we can find that. I don't know who's going to buy it. Netflix, Amazon.
Yeah.
Or maybe it might come out just on Google Play or maybe Rakuten.
Mm-hmm.
So, and to win your Rakuten movie, to win your Rakuten movie voucher this week, all you got to do is tell us your favorite video game to movie film. Let us know via Instagram or Twitter or wherever, and we'll send you that code. Bob's your uncle. Go.
There you go. All right, next one is from Disney Plus, and this is called Soul. And you know what? I didn't get a chance to actually see the trailer for this, so someone's going to have to fill in the blanks for me on this one.
Yeah, Soul's coming out on Christmas Day, man. Soul is coming out, and it's got soul. It's got lots of soul. Who's it got? Jamie Foxx, the man that played Ray. He's got plenty of soul. So this one, this is one about a musician who's lost a passion for music. How are you going to lose a passion for music on Christmas Day? But he's transported out of his body. And he must find his way back with the help of a little child who's learning about music herself. So it's about a journey of finding yourself, not losing your passion, keeping on to your dreams, all that kind of stuff, all that kind of hopeful stuff, you know. So yeah, Jamie Foxx, Tina Fey's in this one, Graham Norton, Gordon Bennett, what's he
Graham
won?
Norton, bloody hell.
Yeah.
And check this out, it's already got 100% of Rotten Tomatoes, 8.3 on IMDb and 94% on Metacritic, and the budget was 100%, and it had a budget of 150 million. What?
With Angela Bassett on the payroll, you got to pay up.
It's got Richard Ayoade in there as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow, man.
Interesting, but this is coming out Christmas Day, so let's see. Everyone's going to be home, isn't it? So it's going to be a Christmas sort of movie to watch.
I'm wondering whether there's going to be a soundtrack to it.
Probably.
There will be.
Beyonce involved, isn't it?
Yeah, Jamie Foxx will probably sing a couple of songs in there as well.
Oh, yeah, true. Obviously,
yeah. All right, and this next one, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion, the trailer, man, this got me in the feels, this one. This was brilliant. I didn't even know about this. So,
Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah, I saw the trailer. Looks like such great fun. So Will Smith, he's like, hey, we're dropping the trailer, and he brings back all the cast members from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. 30 years it's been. And they sit down, I think they're in the studio of where they filmed, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and they're all there. And man, it was just kind of like, seeing those different characters again and seeing Will kind of like speak to them, and there's kind of like one-to-one interviews with the actual actors and everything, and they kind of speak obviously about their first time, reading the script and, acting alongside all these other people. It looks great. It looks brilliant.
Decent. Do you know what? If you watch it to the end, there's a nice little surprise that many people didn't think was going to happen.
Yeah.
You have to watch it to the end. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone that hasn't seen it, but yeah, do watch it. It's going to be interesting. It's coming out on HBO Max on the 19th of December.
Yeah.
So,
very soon. All right. Okay, folks, go check those out and let us know what you think. Now let's move on to Anniversary Corner. So we did say at the beginning of the episode that we're going to bring you, obviously, movies which are tied in with the games. So the first movie that we're going to speak about is from 10 years ago. I've already kind of mentioned this movie, and it didn't do too great at the box office. It didn't do too well with the critics, but it did okay at the box office. And I think the reason why a lot of people got pissed off was, we've spoken about this on the show, there was a lot of whitewashing in this movie. It's Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, and that is, traditionally a story with characters, from the Middle East. But who did they cast? Jake Gyllenhaal, like Mr. Hollywood. You can't get more kind of like Mr. Hollywood than that. And I can't remember, there's a British actress in this as well. I can't remember.
I think they kind of made her a bit darker as well.
What, gave her a tan?
You gave her a bit of a tan, color her up a bit, just to kind of like, maybe, placate a few people. But yeah, so this came out in 2010. I remember watching a interview with Jake Gyllenhaal after this, and like years after this, and he said, you know what? He goes, at the time, it was a great idea for him to do the movie because he was given shitloads of money. He was going to be off on location. And then he said afterwards that the experience wasn't what he expected because it was just basically not, for him anyway, it wasn't the kind of movies that he liked making. But, you're not going to say no to...
after he got heckled about...
Yeah, basically. And he said it afterwards, getting probably paid about 5 or 10 million, like who knows, like, But, it still did all right, pretty decent, like, at the box office. Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
It's all right. And Gemma Atherton in the same year did Clash of the Titans. So she did 2 movies in
There
that
you
year.
go.
Sort of Sand and lots of, old school. But Prince of Persia was actually a quite popular game. It was like, like not like,
I
Tomb
liked it.
Raider-ish and
Yeah.
I liked the game.
yeah, it was quite popular at the time.
Especially when you could turn back the sands of times and then
that would be good. Yeah. Ben Kingsley's in this as well.
Yes. Yes. Before they got Jake Gyllenhaal, they tried to get Orlando Bloom, and even Zac Efron would be interested as well. But I think Orlando Bloom, he might have done all right. But you're right; they should have got someone a bit more Middle Eastern, I reckon.
Yeah.
But Hollywood, isn't it? Hollywood.
But they always do it though. They always, I don't know. They don't learn from their mistakes, man.
Yeah. And I guess, look, listen, 10 years ago, like back then it was kind of like the thing that Hollywood did, but now there would be kind of like a bigger backlash. And, Deval, remember we spoke about this on the show a couple of episodes ago about Cleopatra. There was talk of Gal Gadot playing Cleopatra, and that there's a whole kind of backlash about, should they get kind of like a white person, should they get a person of color to play that role? So this stuff has been going on for donkey's years, man, and I'm pretty sure the debate's not going to end. So if you haven't seen Prince of Persia, go check it out. It's based on a game. And let us know what you think. The next movie is from 15 years ago, again, based on a game. This is called Alone in the Dark. And Deval, remember at the beginning of the show when I said to you, there's a lot of these game movies, they're directed by this one guy called Uwe Boll. This movie is directed by this guy. What a name, Uwe Boll. Alone in the Dark. Now, I haven't actually seen this. Have any of you two seen this?
I've not seen this one.
I've seen bits of it, and it's got a mad low score, like low score.
Really?
And the funny thing is, the game was actually quite decent. It was quite blocky. Came out years ago, but the game was a bit like kind of like Resident Evil-ish, but not so scary. But like a lot of mystery and suspense and stuff like that. But
I think that's one of the problems with the conversion from game to movie is if they try to be true to the actual game, it doesn't end up being so good as a movie. So there have to be I think as a conversion from game to movie, the story has to be more imaginative and maybe steer away from the game slightly.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I think that they should go all out and make it what it is. Like give you what you came for, but still make it imaginative, and maybe you can change something. But when they change a lot, I think people feel cheated. They feel cheated. I mean, look at some of the successes. Look at Mario. Like you mentioned Mario before. Mario wasn't Super Mario. What was that? Even Street Fighter. They had all the characters,
but it wasn't.
Like Guile. How can Guile be Jean-Claude Van Damme?
I know.
It's like certain things are just not right. But they had all the characters. They were all wearing a costume, and this wasn't right. But then I don't know. It's like certain like Resident Evil was Resident Evil. We got like 6 movies because they gave us what the movie was.
Yeah.
That's why I hope like Halo, I hope they give us exactly, because when you play the actual Halo game, you go in guns blazing and you're like, you're actually going
but that's because Halo is Halo, as in like it's the characters aren't like drawn from like cartoonish or whatever.
Yeah.
And so you can I think you can get those better movies from that. Do you know what I mean? But if you got something like Minecraft, turning that into a movie, you're gonna have to.
I don't know how that's gonna work. But check this out. This movie, this is probably the first time I've seen this. This has got 1% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What?
Yeah, it's really, really shit mark.
Was that Alone in the Dark?
Alone in the Dark has got 1% on Rotten Tomatoes. This is just unbelievable. And I'm reading this off Wiki. It says, paranormal detective Edward Carnaby, along with his few other specialist friends, are the only people standing in the way of ancient evil demons that threaten the world by coming back to life. So, Stephen Dorff, Christian Slater, Tara Reid. Oh my gosh, that's about it really. Those are the main guys. Stephen Dorff, obviously, turned up in Blade. Christian Slater, and obviously big actor as well, and Tara Reid from the American Pie movies. All right, okay. So if that tickles your fancy, go check that one out, folks. And next one, we've already spoken about this. The guys have alluded to this before, but 25 years ago, Mortal Kombat. And when this movie came, I remember the posters.
This is the one with Scorpion, wasn't it? And is it Scorpion?
Yeah.
What's this move? What's the move that he does? Come here.
Yeah.
Get over here.
Get over here and like finish it.
It was just the animation. How they animated.
The only thing that I didn't like was what did they put? What's that actor's name? He was in Highlander, Christopher Lambert, I think it was.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh, man! It's just like that's it, Raiden. They got him as Raiden, and I was just like, come on, why didn't they go for a young? Like was Raiden old in the games? I can't remember if he was old.
No,
because he looks old in the film.
Was he white? He wasn't white, was he?
Yeah, Raiden was white.
Was he white?
Yeah.
Kind of bloody. I don't even remember.
I thought he was like Asian.
I thought he was had a mask or something.
No. He looked white to me in the game.
Shit, man! Look at these guys. Yeah, Robin Shu, Liu Kang. Yeah, I remember all those, man. But yeah, how old? I'm not sure if this did really well at the box office, but directed by a guy called Paul W.S. Anderson, and
Mortal Kombat. That one did. What is it? 122 million in the box office.
Okay.
Worldwide.
That's a lot of do re mi, but I think that spawned a lot of other video game to movie sort of iterations. And I think with that one, like we said, that one was actually very was quite accurate to what the game. I don't know if they were with the fatalities in that one. I don't know, but I know the new one is coming out soon. That's going to have fatalities. That's going to be like rated R or 18.
Yeah,
that's going to be a decent. That's I'm looking forward to that a lot. So yeah, man.
Has anyone seen the iteration of the Mortal Kombat game though? The latest one.
No.
It's featuring Rambo and Terminator.
Oh, yes, Terminator's in it, Rambo's in it, yeah, and Alien's been in it before. They bring in these special characters. It's decent. Really decent. Just the other day, actually, I was watching on YouTube again. You can watch the cutscenes from the game, and it plays out like a movie.
Yeah,
it lasted about 3 hours. I watched it over a few days. Do you know what? I was sitting there watching this like computer game like a movie. It was decent. Honestly, it's on YouTube. It's actually kind of decent.
They I totally forgot about this year, but they did a sequel in '97, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and this movie got 2% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Hey, at least they're scoring. If that's the positive.
Exactly. All right. Okay. So if you haven't seen that one, and I'm pretty sure fans of video games, they've probably seen that one. Go check that one out. 25 years ago. Now the next one, last one on our list of anniversary corner movies. 30 years ago, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or in the UK, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, wasn't it, or something?
It was getting watered down, isn't it?
They watered it down, and remember there was this whole big. They got funny over the flipping nunchucks because one of them had nunchucks.
Michelangelo.
Yeah,
Michelangelo had
them. They're banned in the UK, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the reason why they changed the title as well, because it sounded too violent.
Yeah,
man. Yeah. And it was the kind of like I can't remember. It was one of the games. I think it was like Corey Feldman or something. One of those kids. They did the voices for one of them. Do you remember
him? Yeah, he was in. Was it? What was he in? The Goonies or something? Or
that's it. Goonies. Yeah.
All those kinds of films.
Yeah.
This one actually wasn't a video game to movie, but the reason it's on there is because in that year it's the closest thing. But also a lot of youngsters that maybe aren't as old as us, they will remember seeing Turtles as a game, because some of these youngsters they grew up in different times, so they might not have watched the cartoon or whatever. They might have grown up and then played it as a game, and then seen it on a movie and thought, "Oh, mummy, that's the one from the game. Can I have that?" Do you know what I mean? So some of the perspectives, But yeah, I mean, I remember a game came out in the arcade for Turtles. It was wicked. I used to stand there, put my 20p in. Imagine that for a game.
No, man. I
had a
know.
lot of fun. But yeah,
Listen, I had
good.
to buy it. I had to, just for a bit of nostalgia, I went out and bought a Sega Mega Drive, right? And one of the things that you can do straight away, and I'm not kind of advising this for kids to do at home, but yeah, obviously do it. But you can hack them, and you can put like
Emulators.
hundreds of games on, and I put on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like one of them. It's brilliant. I played it for like about 20 minutes, and I was like, this is brilliant, man. So much fun playing that game and bringing back all those memories, man. So yeah, if you haven't seen the movie, definitely try and track down a game and like watch it. But yeah, you'll have a lot of fun. All right, okay, so folks, those were your anniversary corner movies. We've now got time for a film review, and this sounds brilliant. This is kind of speaking about, you know, the two major big players in the console wars. And obviously you've got now you've got like Microsoft and you've got PlayStation, but back in the day, boy, you had two camps. Devaldo, you Emmaniuel, Sega, and you had Nintendo. So this is a documentary called Console Wars, and I didn't get a chance. I managed to watch the other one that we spoke about earlier on, which was High Score. But I know you guys have kind of like seen this. So yeah, so to let us know what this is about and take it away.
Yeah, so this one again, like you said, Console Wars 2020. I caught this on Sky here in the UK, but I'm sure you can also catch it on, I think, Showtime or HBO internationally. So we were gonna do a couple of other movies. We was gonna do either Ready Player One, which is not from a computer game, but it does pay homage to a lot of computer games. Steven Spielberg, great movie, or Rampage, which actually was from a computer game starring The Rock. We've done that previously. So we thought do something fresh today. Console Wars documentary, about an hour and a half, so not too long. And this one, do you know what? This one sets it up really well in just like what you said, Amar, the battle of the top boys at that time, which the late 80s to sort of I want to say late 80s or mid 80s, I should say, actually, to sort of early 90s, Sega and Nintendo. Nintendo was the big player back in the day. Nintendo in America, they owned America. Everyone played Nintendo,
And they were wholesome, weren't they?
they family, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone in the family wanted the kids, parents. That's what parents knew. They bought it for them. Super Mario, a great character, like you say, a wholesome character. Nothing, no blood, no nothing to do with that. They sold crazy amount. And then Sega came about and thought, okay, how are we gonna? But back in the days, there was also Atari that was also out as well, but it wasn't as popular as Nintendo. There were other sort of computer consoles or computer, stations for them around, but nothing really cracked it. And then Sega, they really sat there and thought, okay, because obviously they're from Japan, both are from Japan actually, but they thought, how are we gonna come against uh, Nintendo and really, fight against them and succeed? So they had to use all these backhand tactics and go to different. They went to Walmart and they actually opened a Sega store right outside of Walmart and had lots of people go in there and play Sega for free. They were trying to convince Walmart to have sell their their computer games and computer consoles in their stores when everyone in all the different stores around America were scared.
Try before you buy.
Exactly, but they're also scared to give too much space, like store space, to Sega because they felt that it would go against them with Nintendo.
Is
There was all this
it?
politics involved around, who was to sell, how much space you'll have in their stores, all that kind of stuff. But Sega went to the drawing board and they hired someone to figure out a character who they could go against, and that's when Sonic the Hedgehog came up. Sonic the Hedgehog was devised originally in a band. He was meant to be in a band of other animals.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
and then Madonna was someone called Madonna was going to be the lead singer, and she was a blonde lady. There was a blonde lady with animals, and that was going to be the band. And then someone came along. No, we got to scrap Madonna. Madonna's a real person.
Oh my
We got to
gosh.
scrap the band. Let's just keep Sonic. They kept Sonic, and then they were looking at the sort of environment and stuff like that. And obviously, the Sonic game that was created. But I don't know if you guys remember back in the day, difference between Nintendo and or Super Nintendo, I should say, and a Mega Drive, or then in America, it's called Sega Genesis, isn't it? As Biggie said.
SNES.
But they had they're both 16-bit, or
Yep.
it was, I should say, Super Mega Drive was 16-bit, and they would talk about the way the graphics. One was faster, one had better graphics. There were all these little messaging things that they said in the adverts that made people go to one or the other. And on the Mega Drive, the actually said 16-bit on it, so people knew this was more powerful. Sega focused on that power of speed, and then when Sonic came out, people were blown away by the speed at which Sonic the Hedgehog could move, because they'd never seen such speed on a console. And that's when Super Nintendo had to ramp up as well. Who remembers the Super FX chip?
Super FX? What is that?
The Super
No,
FX
I can't
chip.
remember that one.
That's in Nintendo, yeah. So there was a game developer in the UK who created the Super FX chip that went into Star Fox. Remember Star Fox? And
Yes,
Star Wing?
Yeah, I remember
Star Fox. I remember that. Yeah.
So that went into that, and then that was able to boost up the graphics and make it 3D. So they had all these little inventors and game programmers that were doing things to add onto their consoles to fight the war. It was almost like the Cold War between America and the USSR. Like, all these little things that they were trying to do to gain yardage to try and win the war. That's why they call it console wars. It was so crazy. Somebody from Sega left to go work for Nintendo, or was it vice versa? I can't remember. That caused beef. There was so many things, like Mortal Kombat. Nintendo, they changed the blood to green because they said, "Oh yeah, this game is it's bad for the family." So they even said themselves, "We're not going to have it the blood red." Sega had it red. So I don't know if you remember that, guys, back in the day. So when it went to Congress and they were saying to ban it, Nintendo were like, "Oh well, look at us."
Because Sega was also the ones that came up with the Mortal Kombat, weren't they?
Yeah, Sega was. Yeah, I played Mortal Kombat on Sega. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was on both consoles though.
Was it?
Was it? Okay.
On both consoles, yeah, because Nintendo made the blood green on theirs, and Sega kept it red. So then, when it came up in Congress to ban it, Nintendo were like, "Oh well, look, we're a wholesome computer game company. We understand it should be green." So then they used that to their advantage. But you know what? There were so many things that were going on then. It's even hard to cover in this review, but it's a decent. It goes back behind the scenes. They talk to all the senior vice presidents, the senior this, senior that of both companies. So you're hearing it from the horse's mouth.
Does anyone remember a game where it was like a video? It was like a movie, and you basically choose your. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure, but it was with real actors.
Is it?
Yeah, it's called Night Trap.
Yeah, that's it.
I think that came out on Sega, I think.
Yeah.
And that one, it bombed, but they tried to do something really different there, and they were even saying then it was like it failed. It starred one of the girls that was in Different Strokes, who sadly died at the age of 33.
Oh my gosh, Different Strokes.
Yeah, but yeah, Night Trap was something that they tried and didn't really work, and that
failed
miserably. They tried to ban that in Congress as well in America. But yeah, I'm going to stop on this one, guys. This one's a good documentary. If we're here talking about computer games and the history about it, PlayStation 5 is either out or coming out, depending on where you are. You need to find out where the history of what happened back in the day.
I do remember that Sega for me was, if you was a rebel or cool in school, then you was on a Sega.
You were on a Sega, yeah. I remember when I bought Michael Jackson's Moon.
Oh my gosh!
Moonwalker.
What was it?
Was it Moonwalker?
No.
Moonwalker?
Was it? Yeah, Moonwalker or something like that. Oh my gosh, man! I used to play that all the time, and you just press that C button. He does his little thing. Wow! He spins around. He knocks everyone out, and you throw his hat. That was wicked, man. Oh,
well, what about Killer Instinct?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Road Rash, all those games, man. NHL hockey, bought them all, man. So in the console war, Devaldo, in this documentary, do they then show what happened to flipping Sega at the end?
Well, they go from the 80s and they actually stop once it reaches PlayStation, because PlayStation just takes over.
Killed it all.
Once PlayStation comes out, it's a wrap.
End of the war.
Yeah, exactly. But Nintendo's still around. Nintendo's still making machines.
Yeah, but then they've also changed their market, as in They do a lot of Wii and what's that phone called again? Switch.
Switch.
They're not on the sort of adult. Well, adults do play it, but the market's changed, which is clever. Nintendo know how to stay in the market. Sega don't make machines anymore. They
No,
went out after Dreamcast, isn't it?
that was it.
Sega Saturn came first, then Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Sega, they made bad investments. You know, Sega were supposed to work with Sony on creating a console that was it Sega or Nintendo? I'm getting mixed up now. But one of them was supposed to work with Sony to make a console that had both of their tech involved. The Sony was supposed to make the drive, and then the other company was supposed to make the games. And then one of them, I think it might be Nintendo actually. They actually went behind and sort of
They did
cancelled that.
dirty on
And
him.
then, yeah, and then I think they went to work with Philips or someone like that. That's
Philips,
when I think the Sega CD came out or something like that. And then Sony thought, okay, do you know what? F you guys, we're going to make our own thing. And then that's when PlayStation came out. So they inadvertently were their own demise. Yeah. So basically, console wars, it kind of ends when PlayStation comes out because that just outsells everything.
Yeah.
And then that's when sort of comes to an end.
Yeah.
Then that nicely, because that's the end of that review, console wars. I give that one a good 7.5, 8 out of 10. That comes nicely to the next one, which is a hidden gem, which I'll quickly talk about because I know time's running out. But this one's called From Bedrooms to Billions, colon or semicolon, and then the PlayStation Revolution. Again, this one was released in 2020. I watched this on Rakuten. So if you can let us know your favorite video game to movie film, you can win a code to and watch it in your own home. But this one's a documentary. This one's about an hour and no, this one was 2.5 hours. Yeah, this one
Is it?
was long.
Okay.
Yeah, this one
In
was
depth,
long.
this one.
Very in depth. This one focuses on PlayStation. That focuses on all the game developers. Oh man, this one I learned a lot. It's when all the game developers like the Gran Turismos and Ratchet and Clanks, the Call of Duties, and all those developers, and it sort of tells their story of when they started developing games for PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, when the consoles came out, the problems that they had, the amounts that they sold. They were talking about how PlayStation 3 was a dud, like
Yep.
it didn't do as well as the rest of them. PlayStation 4 was revolutionary. It talks about the problems that the developers have each time a console comes out. They have to obviously use new technology. Sometimes it's difficult and all that kind of stuff. They talk about an actor and a producer who got together to. I don't know if anyone remembers Abe's Odyssey, the weird game.
No.
No.
Yeah, Abe's Odyssey was a creation from an actor and a producer who worked in Hollywood. And at that time, in the mid '90s, they realized that the video game industry is making a lot of money. So they got together and made their own computer games company called it's gone out my head. I think it's called Odyssey or something. And they made this game, and the game was very, very popular. To this day, they still make games. And
Really?
they just make so much more money now compared to the movies because, like we said, the video game is worth more than the movie and music together. And
Mm.
like you said, Emmanuel, at the top of the show, these esports, they money.
Yeah.
Money,
Prize money
man.
can be like
Huge.
And the
it
thing
can be
is,
life changing.
And the thing is, you got sports stars who are moving towards e-gaming as well, esports. They're actually like coaching the gamers.
Shit. But in that documentary, the one on Netflix, High Score.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one where they follow a couple of these kids? They went to these competitions. These competitions have been going on for since obviously the 80s, 90s, and whatever. Where they would win. Back then, it was probably like about $5,000 or $10,000. But now, some of these cats, man, they're earning
celebrities.
yeah, exactly $100,000. They being flown all around the world to win this sort of stuff. This is huge, man. So the question that I've got, Devado, in this kind of bedrooms to billions, this PlayStation thing, do they speak about the PlayStation 5 coming out as well?
No, well, that's what I was waiting for that, but they made a small mention of it. But this is all to do with PlayStation 1, 2, 3,
Right.
4,
Okay.
and all the developers and companies that are attached to it, and all the history behind that, the successes, the bombs, all of that. But the PlayStation 5, no, because I guess when they made this, PlayStation 5 was still a bit far away, so maybe they couldn't mention it for any reason. But yeah, it's 2.5 hours, man. Do you know what? It's really in depth, and I do recommend giving it a watch if you're into PlayStation. Obviously now a PlayStation 5,
Yeah.
right coming out or out now. You know what? I enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Xbox lovers won't enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say, so like the current console wars, who do you reckon's going to win this one? Microsoft, or is it going to be PlayStation?
I think it's tight because from what I understand, the new Xbox, they give you two good options. One's a sort of top range option, and then the cheaper option is only $250. That's cheap. For Xbox, that gives you quite a lot of stuff too.
Yeah.
And then the size of it's not as big as the new PlayStation 5. Everyone's complaining about the size, it's massive. But do you know what? From what I understand, the Xbox, the new one, the top range one, the hardware inside it is top notch. It can do certain things better than the PlayStation, but then the PlayStation can do certain things better as well.
Right.
It's a tight one. I really can't call it. But if it's from the family perspective, people stick with the family. People that have got PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will
They're going
never
to go for
switch to
PlayStation.
Xbox. So I think it might just be the same sort of wave of continuity from that, that we've seen in the past. But yeah, people don't switch this late in the game. It's hard to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think
especially if you've been playing one console and you've got a whole stack of games.
Spot on, Emmaniuel. Spot on, because both Xbox, what's it called? Series 1 or I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
But the new one and then PlayStation 5, they're both backwards compatible. Still play your old games, new computer. Good.
There you have it, folks. Go check them out.
Yeah. We ain't playing around here, guys.
We have covered a lot.
Don't charge your control pads. Dust out your games. Do that quick. That blow that you need.
on the cartridge.
Was that the SNES cartridges?
Yeah.
All of them.
Funny.
Oh my
I was an expert blower, Any dust out of that.
Any dust, man. That's so funny. Oh gosh, man, that brings back memories. All right, okay. Unfortunately, we're out of time, folks. So we really, really hope you've enjoyed this show. It's been great, chatting games and movies with my boys Deval and Emmaniuel. So keep it locked with the Flixters, and we'll be bringing you another episode very, very soon. And remember to keep in touch with us. Deval, where can people reach out to us? Yeah, Insta, Facebook, Twitter, also YouTube as well. We started putting our episodes on YouTube, so keep it locked in there. And Emmaniuel, thanks again for joining us today. Again, as usual, it's been a pleasure.
It's a pleasure, man. Domo arigatou gozaimasu.
Check this guy out. I was going to say, Emmaniuel, what are you going to go for? PlayStation or are you going to go for Xbox?
PlayStation.
Yeah, I think it's going to be PlayStation. Yeah, man. All right, okay, folks. Let us know what you're going for in the comment sections on our Instagram page. All right, it's enough from me. See you later.
See ya.
Peace out.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Just pop in the Flixters podcast.